when we look at the way man relates to physical nature, which I'll refer simply to as nature in this conversation, then one cannot miss the fact that we are super violent and ultra exploitative. And we somehow assume that we'll be able to continue with our personal man-centric parties, no gender thing there, mankind-centric parties, remaining as exploitative and as cruel as we are. It's a surprise how we are able to maintain that inner assumption, but we do. So that's an obvious thing. But that kind of violence, that kind of inner hatred towards existence itself, that kind of discontentment with very life is not limited to the way man treats biological systems or rivers or mountains or animals or birds or fish. It shows up in every aspect of our life. We are not what we must be. It shows up in our education, it shows up in our politics, it shows up in our relationships, it shows up in our economy. It is there everywhere. Whatsoever man touches, whatsoever man creates, whatsoever bears any kind of imprint of man, is obviously coming from man's center. When I say center, I mean man's identity. What does man think of himself? What does man take himself to be? What are you acting as? So, because we act from the wrong center, therefore everything that we do is actually messed up. Among all those things that are messed up is this one thing called man's relationship with flora and fauna, animals and such things. The coronavirus is coming from there. What's worse, there might be much more lethal and incurable viruses to come in the future. We talk of the virus as the problem. In fact, if you go to the social media to get a hang of how we are looking at the whole thing in a cultural way, you often find the virus being depicted as a demon. Or a horned monster or something, right? That's how we are trying to portray the virus. But is the virus to be blamed? Did the virus conspire to come and affect and kill humanity? Or did we go and force the virus to come to us? In a lighter vein, even the virus must be in a state of shock right now. The virus was gladly living where it was. Where it must be. In the lap of the jungles. But when we go to the jungle, we destroy the jungle. We want to just eat and consume anything that we can lay our hands on. And so we have forced the virus to come to us. And now it is the nature of the virus to mutate and travel and propagate itself and infect as many as possible. The virus is doing what the virus must. We are not doing what we must. The virus is almost a chemical, you see. It is just a a little heap of genetic information. That's all that the virus is. It hardly has any consciousness. In fact, we do not even know whether to call the virus as a living or a non-living thing. So the virus is almost a chemical. Now what we are saying is, oh, the chemical is to be blamed. Is the chemical to be blamed seriously? It's almost like saying carbon is evil. But then who is emitting all the carbon into the atmosphere? We are saying, oh, CO2 is a problem. Has CO2 decided on its own to invade you and maim you? Are you getting it?